Secondly, Dawkins' more fundamental mistake lies in his assumption that God is just as complex an entity as the universe. That is plainly false. As a pure mind or consciousness without a body, God is a remarkably simple entity. A mind or a soul is not a physical object composed of parts. In contrast to the contingent and variegated universe, with all its inexplicable constants and quantities, a divine mind is startlingly simple. Dawkins protests, and I quote, "A God capable of constantly monitoring, controlling the individual status of every particle in the universe cannot be simple," end quote. This is just confused. Certainly, a mind may have complex ideas. It may be thinking, for example, of the infinitesimal calculus. But the mind itself is a remarkably simple, non-physical entity. Dawkins has evidently confused a mind's ideas, which may indeed be complex, with the mind itself, which is an incredibly simple entity, since it has no parts. Therefore, postulating a divine mind behind the universe most definitely does represent an advance in simplicity, for whatever that's worth. Dawkins' central argument in his book thus fails to show that the alternative of design is in any way inferior to the many worlds hypothesis. Indeed, his self-congratulatory attitude about this pitiful argument, sustained even in the face of repeated correction by prominent philosophers and theologians like Richard Swinburne and Keith Ward, is marvelous.